morning, good afternoon or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. It's round 2 of the Race on Oz GT World Challenge here tonight from Brands Hatch in the United Kingdom. As we take a look at the drivers, we do apologise. We had a slight delay as we were working out some connection issues. Most notably my internet connection, but that's all been sorted. We've jumped across into a new lobby and we are getting ready to, well, we are practicing at the moment, I can tell you that, and we're getting ready for qualifying. It's going to be a 10-minute qualifying session, followed by 2 races this evening, in fact, here in this second round of the championship. We can't wait for that. It is the Brands Hatch doubleheader. Late morning for race 1, afternoon for race 2, times 1 time progression. Somebody's turned the lights out, and that's because we are getting ready for qualifying here as I welcome my co-host this evening. A very familiar voice in Race on Oz, of course, and just in general, is the man known as Viper, or Liam Tame. Liam, good evening to you. We are about to get into the action. In fact, we're into the action right now.
Yeah, good evening, Trevor. How good is it to be back? I'm very, very excited to be watching some GT cars around Brands Hatch tonight. It's been a while since we've been on track with these boys, so expecting good things from this bunch, and a full grid tonight, importantly, which nearly didn't happen.
Absolutely, and talk about almost, did you have to mention that so quick, Liam? Almost didn't happen for me either, but let's take a look at the calendar here, Liam, of this championship. We've done Bathurst, haven't we? We managed to get a stream up and running for that, and Brands Hatch here tonight, Monza June the 2nd, and the rest of the races on your screen. My goodness me, Liam, that Nürburgring 24-hour, that's going to be a cracker there. And then we're off to Spa for round 5, round 6 at the Nürburgring GP circuit layout, and then the Red Bull Ring or Suzuka for September 15th. And that's going to be fantastic. And Liam as well, let's have a look at the standings here in the GT3s. Distinct Andrew getting it done last time around in round 1.
Yeah, Andrew had a pretty dominant display at Bathurst last time out, and the big talking point this week, of course, Trevor, is that Andrew is a no-show tonight. So it's all going to be on Distinct Geesh to try and capitalise on his missing Distinct teammate. His nearest rival as well, Mint Matt, missing in action as well. So it's going to be a big question of who grabs the spoils with Andrew and Matt missing out of action.
Absolutely, we'll keep an eye out for that one. Let's cross to the GT4s. Bod Hod 1. He is leading the way there, Liam. BK T Feckles, our host, our backup host for this evening. It's pretty close there in GT4 as well this season.
Super exciting stuff in GT4. I think that's the category to watch for me. Bodhod, of course, here tonight repping those SLS colours. BK missing tonight, so another big absentee. We'll see how that one goes tonight.
We'll see how that one goes. And don't forget about the manufacturers. Gazoo Racing on 50. It's close in everywhere you look in these standings. Aston Martin 48. Mercedes 44, Porsche 32, McLaren, BMW and Ford. They are the manufacturers' results there as we get back to the racing. And Liam, we're getting some news in here as we take a look at Distinct Geesh out there in qualifying. That's not the only news during the course of the week. Liam, what is this all about? The Shannon Speed Series official of the round for the GT Festival in Sydney, May 2nd to 4th. What do we know about this, Liam?
What we know is that we've been absolutely shirt-fronted by my face on a Twitch stream. That is diabolical. Thank you, Trev. No, I do appreciate it.
This is just coming in. This came across my desk late this afternoon, and how good is that? There is our man there. Liam getting it done in the Shannon Speed Series. Big weekend for you, wasn't it, Liam? Always a busy man, of course. And we'll just get that. Got some new tech happening on OBS as well, Liam. So we've got to put that to good use with the transitions and everything. But, mate, massive weekend for you. Congratulations.
No, thanks very much. It was a massive honour to be the recipient of that award. It's gone to some really, really important officials over the time. I guess it was my time to shine, I suppose. But I was pit lane and grid chief for the weekend, and like any good chief, you're only as good as your team, and I had a fantastic team for the weekend. So for those listening, I think there was actually a member of my team listening, Isaac Fogg. I did see him in the Twitch strat. Thank you very much for being a part of it, and I think he can take the spoils for the rest of the 32 people I had underneath me for the weekend.
Great stuff. I know Isaac. Did a bit of commentary with him. I do a lot of commentary with him. I will be, that's for sure. But great stuff. Great stuff to see you, Isaac, in there. Great work, Liam, of course, Jimbo as well, Porsche, GT. Thanks for letting me race tonight. That is fantastic. But wow, we've got a short qualifying session. I say short, but it's only 10 minutes, Liam. We're approaching the halfway mark of that session. Please tell us, who can we keep? Who should we be keeping an eye on tonight, if I can speak English here this evening?
I think there's two big names that I'll be watching tonight, Trev. I think that'll be Distinct Jish, who is already the form man, 1.3 seconds to the good over Steve Fletcher in second, and Bodhod in GT4. I think those two fellas will be very, very hard to beat. Of course, Bodhod's still the championship leader in GT4, and Jish will be looking to capitalise on the absentee championship leader, Distinct Andrew. So those guys have got a lot to race for tonight.
Absolutely, and it is called the Imitation Games. And it does mirror real-life events, of course, real-life categories at the same track. We had the GT World Challenge Europe round at Brands Hatch this weekend just gone. And as we mentioned, Andrew, who's not around this evening, but Bodhod, your championship leader for GT4, he is around and very close in the team's championship. Now, two mandatory compounds, Liam, for this particular race. We've got two 45-minute races with a progressive grid and a rolling start after the formation lap, but two mandatory compounds each race here tonight?
Yeah, it is. So obviously we've got the hard, medium and soft available to all these drivers tonight. What they're going to go with is a bit of a mystery to me so far, whether they go with the hard-soft mixture or whether they try go aggressive with the medium-soft. Can't use the same tyre twice, so watching to see what they do with that mix is going to be interesting as Steve takes a little bit of an excursion out there on the main straight to let Diswood go.
And Steve Fletcher, I believe, my newest and dearest PSN friend on the PlayStation Network. Of course, it turned out that I didn't need to add him as a friend, but we finally got there in the end. And it's great to see a Kiwi. Is he the only Kiwi in the field tonight? No, he's not, because Wiz94 is also a Kiwi. As we see the GT4 class, it's great to see both classes here this evening, GT3, GT4 in the World Challenge. Even down to this man, extended warranty in the Bluey car. There's one for my 7-year-old daughter, Liam. She would love that car, but he's very much out of shape there in the Mustang there.
Yeah, looked a little unsettled coming through Sector 1 there. Alex should come to grips with this car relatively quickly. He's not all that unfamiliar with it, of course. Did campaign it in round 1 at Bathurst. So there's points on the board for Mr. Bowen here, extended warranty. He's up here through Sector 2, so hopefully looking to capitalise on that, move himself up off the back of the GT4 grid.
Absolutely. Let's keep going through our order here, back to the front. And really, when we talk about qualifying, Liam, is it a matter of Distinct Jish by how much? As we take a look at the Milky Way kid here, he is dominating so far. It's going to be difficult to see anybody. I'd love to get your thoughts. Getting near a 23.0, a 23 flat, that's going to be very difficult to beat. But having said that, Prying Stingray there, only 1 second behind. Only a second.
Only a second. I couldn't have said it better myself. And this also, it's not only going to be a bit of a difference in ability, difference in machinery too. As you see, Prying Stingray purple through Sector 1, mighty impressive in that Mustang, which is not regarded for its pace around Brands Hatch. The Lexus, however, currently probably one of the strongest cars in the Group 3 arsenal. So I think Jish is very much steering the equipment to a very solid result at the moment. Jish probably the best driver, definitely the best car right now. So I think anything less than a win tonight for Jish, and he'll probably be quite disappointed himself. So we'll just keep an eye on how that goes. But Stingray definitely putting up a charge.
Yeah, and of course anything can happen, as that might have been my mate Fletcher getting out of the way there. But it really is Distinct Jish's to lose. But we've seen plenty of drivers in plenty of categories, plenty of races, whether it be open wheel or GT3, GT4, who've come in as hot favourites, and they've managed to slip up there. Banana Cake Pie as we're hearing that the stream isn't coming through that well. Oh boy, someone's kicked that plug out again for the fibre optic cabling there, Liam. But anyway, we'll get back to business here. The Bottle livery, beautiful looking livery there for Fletcher 97 1NZ, and going through to Snorkel now in the Mercedes AMG car. Very nice looking liveries. Bodhod here leading the way in the Coles livery on that Mercedes. It's good to see the GT3s, the GT4s. They're fun little cars as well though, aren't they, Liam? We love to see them, don't we? Or both categories out on the circuit at the same time.
Well, as we see in real life, Trev, the GT4s are actually the more popular category, especially in Australia. We did have a grid of 31 entered for SRO Sydney over the weekend, only 15 GT3s in comparison. So, yeah, I think we know where people's monies are going right now.
Absolutely, a very popular category indeed. And let us know out there where you're watching from. Thank you, Nismo. Big Chief Liam Tame in the com box. That's right, we've got him. And if you didn't see it, there it is, official of the round. I better stop doing this, Liam. I'm sorry, I'm embarrassing him. But what a superb superstar he is from the Shannon Speed Series over the weekend. But let's not get distracted because 10 minutes, this is the final laps are coming up in qualifying here, Liam. Most drivers on their final runs here at the moment.
Yeah, I think I'm going to choose to ignore that last little pop-up. So yeah, all the drivers finishing their laps now. We saw Diswood and Fletcher improving there on his final lap. So P3 for Fletcher currently. Plenty of other drivers still on a lap, so what's to come here? Banana Cake Pie across the line doesn't improve. Snorkel still on a lap in the AMG. He's back in 7th at the moment. I'm sure he'll want to improve on that. He's got a GT4 car ahead of him though, but half a tenth up. Trevor, how's he going to manage this?
Half a tenth of a second. That is literally half a second for Snorkel as he comes around the final corner. Long flowing circuit this one. Mustang's a Hulk, a hunk of, I thought he said Hulk there, as we come across the line. Where is that going to put him? He's gone with a 24.707. That is not too bad at all. Who else have we got? We've got somebody else here. There's somebody else who hasn't quite finished their lap. We will get to that. Is that Selraf, I believe, coming across the line now, Liam? What can he do?
Look at the time. Looks like it's already gone for the McLaren driver, unfortunately. So it's going to be the bottom of the GT4 grid for him. And that wraps it up, I believe. 10 minutes of qualifying done and dusted.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at the results. There we have it. Distinct Geesh on pole position. We might have a look at those results. Here we go. Distinct Geesh on pole position. Boy, how well am I travelling here this evening? And it's Prying Stingray 1.1 seconds further back. So he got close, Liam, but the only problem was Geesh went with a 22.8. He was sitting on a 22 flat, wasn't he? And then he managed to get 1.1 seconds ahead of Prying Stingray. Then Fletcher, great result for him, albeit 1.5 seconds further back. And then we've got Porsche. And then Banana Cake Pie not improving on his final run. Diswood in 6th, Snorkel in 7th, Arby in P8 there as we go to Bodhod. Pole position once again dominating in his particular class there as well, Liam.
Yeah, Bodhod takes the spoils, so the point for pole position goes to the championship leader in GT4. Wiz follows him in the M4. Feckles Dash, the substitute, doing well in P4. Tolly P5, extended warranty in 6th, and Selraf rounds out our GT4 grid.
Absolutely, and we saw Selraf coming across the line there a few moments ago, but that is our starting grid. If you're just joining us, recapping, there's the GT3 guys, here's the GT4 guys, as we are going to get ready to go racing. Qualifying is finished. Now, we need to wait for our host to get this one underway. 31 laps. Race will begin shortly, Liam, and we are not going to miss this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The countdown is on here at Brands Hatch.
Super excited for this one, Trev. And I think one thing I was looking at as well is just how tight the field is outside of the pole sitters. So Geesh on pole, of course, by some margin. from second all the way to last in the, I think it was second last actually in the GT3 grid, there is just a very, very close field. Remember, of course, we do have a formation lap following this, so don't get too stressed about the fact that we're about to talk through the race start. They're going to form up and go for a double file rolling start, these guys.
Absolutely, we see them away. Prying Stingray, what happened there, Liam? A little bit slow off the line, and there's a little bit of funny business happening here. As we see our pole man for GT3, Distinct Geesh getting away. Now they've got away cleanly. As we see them there, 6th Banana Cake Pie, Diswood in 6th, 7th for Snorkel, Bodhod in 8th, leading the way for the GT4s. So rolling start here, Liam. Of course, GT3 is getting underway, and then followed by the GT4s. And our job is to get both of these starts as they happen, and we don't want to miss a thing, do we?
No, absolutely not. I'm going to actually say there may be a few people up and down the grid who weren't quite aware of what we were doing. I did mention it before, we were very close to not having this full grid of 15, so I think a couple people maybe just rushed in, wasn't quite sure that we were going to go for this double file rolling start. We should be single file basically all the way to the second last corner. And there's a couple people who are just choosing to do it a touch early, so looks interesting, looks cool, but yeah, not quite what we were expecting.
Okay, well, there we go. Thank you, Water Arrow. Thank you, Prying Stingray. This is about to get underway. Still the subtle CRT flicker on the screen. That is not good. I'm not sure what's happening there, but we are going to bring this to you. A little bit of old school, if you don't mind, Liam. Back from 1998, if you were alive back then, which you might have been. What is he now? 25? 25? No, he wasn't either, was he?
2000 baby, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible, isn't it? Well, not terrible for you, but makes me feel very old indeed. But we are almost underway here. GT7 needs double file rolling starts. 2001 gang, says Isaac Fogg, and absolutely fantastic here. We can see now they're getting the idea, aren't they?
I think this is a little bit more what we expected, definitely. So I'll let you call this. This should be a good GT3 start.
Let's go for the GT3 start. We are going to keep an eye on the GT3 start and bring that to you. Then we're going to get to the GT4s and see how Bodhod goes off the line. But it's Distinct Geesh, Prying Stingray, Fletcher, Porsche, Banana, Diswood, Snorkel, Arby. They're all there. They're all ready to go. In not too long, we're about to get underway. Yes, now we are underway. As they all get away cleanly, we don't want to miss Bodhod as well off the start in the GT4s, and somebody is off. There is a yellow flag out, and there's a car facing the wrong way, Liam. And who is that?
I think it may have been Porsche actually sent all the way to the back, so drama for one of the GT3 cars, and it's indeed the man who was stepping in for Matt Simmons tonight, so should be your favourite driver on the grid. In fact, he's running a Matt Simmons livery, and a terrible, terrible start for Porsche. He's got a lot of ground to make up. Well, he might be running the Matt Simmons livery. Big, big shoes to fill. And he is going to, that is a terrible start, isn't it, for Porsche GT? Not sure who he made contact there with, Liam, as we see him now just carving his way through those GT4s, as you'd expect. We might get back to the front of GT4. Bodhod has made a good start, and he is, he's not quite checking out, Liam, but he's doing very nicely at the moment in the GT4s. 1.2 seconds to the good is Bodhod, so that's probably all he wanted from that race start. I think he's very chuffed he's got that breathing room to whiz. 1.5 now, so yeah, just trying to stretch the legs of the AMG. You can see Whiz there, who's got a little bit of breathing room to Tolly as well, and the top three hopefully just finding their groove, settling in for this first 31 lap stint. Absolutely, Porsche still carving his way through the field there. There is Whiz. There is Porsche, but he's very much out of position, isn't he, of course, given the start he had. My goodness, he's a man on a mission, Liam. Nothing is going to stop him from getting back to the end of the GT3 field as Whiz there, just doing the right thing, letting him go. They've got their own race to run. Tolly, then it's T. Feckles, Dash, Vanguard. Oh, extended warranty down the inside there through turn one. Nice move there from Mr. Bowen. It was very, very assertive there. Of course, both of these gentlemen, I believe, Dash only, in fact, the reserve for this round, taking the place of BKXI, who was second in our GT4 Championship. So big shoes to fill for Dash Vanguard, sporting a very, very nice GT4 livery, actually, if I do say so myself.
Very nice. I wonder who had something to do with that. As big shoes to fill indeed, though. In all seriousness, there, Liam Bailey Kennedy, of course, who we all know very well. Dash Vanguard is continuing on. Selraf is not too far off the back of that pack. We might get back to the front, and it is close. S. Fletcher 97. Oh, I'm glad I added him to my PlayStation network here, Liam. He is putting all sorts of pressure on our race leader.
Yeah, incredibly close to the front. Fletcher within slipstream distance of Geesh. Got to notice too that Prying Stingray's dropped all the way back down to P6. There must have been drama in the first 3 laps for him. Wow, awesome lap there from Steve Fletcher. 24.9 in race trim. Could be a difference in tyre here. I almost think that Geesh has probably gone a little bit more conservative for his starting tyre, whereas Steve might be going for full attack. Probably the soft tyre underneath that M6.
Absolutely, we're riding on board with Fletcher 9.7 now, and he's just extending that lead out a little bit, as we see from the passenger's view there. Great camera angles, absolutely love it. We'll get back to the broadcast camera. Diswood is, what's he now? He's 4.1 off the lead, Liam, 2.9 further back from Fletcher. So there is Snorkel. And the field spread, starting to spread, I should say. Prying Stingray there. Thank you for following for the race here tonight. The retro Pertec livery there, very nice indeed. Hello, Banana Cake and Arby are going at it 6th and 7th, right in front of our very eyes here. Banana Cake getting defensive, but Arby looks racy.
Yeah, Arby was one of the latest of the reserves for us. Only got on the PlayStation at 15 minutes until qualifying. Hasn't really run that many laps in this Mustang. We're not really sure what he's trying to get out of this one. He's very, very thankful for him to have even hopped in tonight and filled up this grid for us. But clearly putting some pressure on BCP. And yeah, coming to grips with Brands Hatch very quickly indeed.
Absolutely, just jumping on 10 minutes before. I know the feeling, as we had some issues earlier on. But oh, that is very wide. That is not the line to be taking through that corner. And BCP, which is a great acronym, Liam. I'm not sure why I'm just using that now after hearing it from you. But you can see passing opportunities, very difficult indeed as we go through some very English-sounding corners. Graham Hill Bend, Cooper Straight, and then the Surtees corner. Very English-sounding names indeed. Banana Cake, BCP still holding that position. And whilst these two are squabbling, don't forget about Porsche as well, Liam, who is catching these two.
Very, very strong package in that Porsche, no pun intended. 2.5 tenths purple already, so you can see Geesh has retaken the fastest lap of the race. So he's kind of zipped his suit up and started to find a little bit of time as Porsche goes very, very wide there through a corner I will never remember his name of. Yeah, Porsche clearly pushing this Porsche to within its wit's end. Might
be the Westfield corner there, according to what I've got in front of me anyway, or the Dingle Dell. What a corner name that is. But through Sterling's bend we go. He's 1.8 seconds off of Arby, as you can see there. Big shout out to everyone watching here this evening. Isaac, Nismo, Will, Water Arrow, and everyone else who's joining us this evening. Great to have you with us. Lap 6 out of 31. 2 45-minute races here tonight. So it's a double header, Liam, for round 2 of this championship, as we see the sun glistening off that beautiful Porsche there. Porsche in a Porsche, doing very nicely indeed. Track limits, Liam. Now, this is interesting. What are they like around here? Are they strict? Is it something that the drivers don't have to worry about, or do they this evening?
Don't think it'll be a major consideration for any of these guys, to be honest with you. I can't particularly think of any corners you really want to be cutting. I think the quick right-hander in the final sector is probably the only one that I can really imagine you picking up a penalty for. Probably where Geesh is right now as they flick over that right-hander. It might even be Dingledell, to be honest. But even then, you kind of shoot yourself out wide, and you don't want to end up in the grass and the exit that corner. It's very, very, very easy to make a mistake there.
Absolutely, and yes, it's one of those circuits. There's not a lot of runoff area here, of course. You once you go off, that's it. First time I can remember, was this Gran Turismo 6, I think? I could be wrong. GT6, I believe, was the first time I saw this game, which was around the same time it was a classic track on the F1 game. Liam, if you can remember that. But you can see Bodhod leading the GT4s. Tolly there, flying as well. Look at this whiz. And T. Feckles as well, all over the back of him. P2, 3 and 4, very, very close. Extended warranty a little bit further back in the Bluey car. And then it's Dash Vanguard and Selraf, who is continuing on there down the back of the field. Distinct Geach now, though, Liam, checking out at the front. 4 seconds is the gap. He's gone all Oscar Piastri on us out front.
Mentioning Oscar Piastri, it'd be impossible not to talk about Miami last night. I can take a short break. Or Miami. Was it Miami? It's been a very long weekend. I think it was Miami, wasn't it?
It's been a long day. It was about 6 this morning, wasn't it, or something? It's
something like that.
Well, I tell you what, he might just win that championship with a few races up his sleeve the way he's going. How long have we got, Liam? No, we can't keep talking about Oscar Piastri. What is that? He's a Victorian. No, well, oh no, I'm sitting next to a New South Welshman, so I better put my manners back in, Liam, but he is 4.2 seconds out in front. I forgot the question, Liam, but he is dominating here at the moment, Distinct G.
Right, mate, to quote the great man, it's a great day for the world, it's a great day for Australia, it's a great day for Victoria. Oscar Piastri, get him up here.
No, there we go, big Merv. And who could forget Wendy? You're not that, I'll tell you what, you can remember that. As the 12th man, Fletch, there he is. He's not the 12th man. Billy Birmingham was the 12th man, wasn't he? 2.9 seconds. Make that 3 seconds. So the field spreading out nicely here at the moment. Diswood, then Prying Stingray, and Snorkel, and BCP. Snorkel ahead of BCP. What on earth has happened to our banana cake pie here, Liam?
It doesn't look like he's made too much of a major mistake. I think it was just kind of natural that Snorkel's managed to find his way past the reigning Div 1B champion, might I add. So BCP's making quite a name for himself in GT3 cars at the moment. I think these two are going to be stuck together for the near future, I'd say. Just really excited to see what we're going to see in terms of pit stops coming up. Not really sure when our pit window is going to pop up. Could be in 5 laps time, could be in 10 laps time. Just got to keep an eye on it and see when these guys are going to make that trigger pull.
Yeah, we're going to wait and see. I'm guessing, given the field spread, Liam, are we thinking that the undercut might not be too powerful, I don't believe, but there are some closer battles further down. There is RB, Porsche GT, doing a bit of a recovery drive there. Bodhod, he's going to have the first call on strategy, a bit like Geach, isn't he? Being about 4 or so seconds ahead. So they're going to be sitting pretty at the moment, and they really can make the call, can't they, Liam, on when to come in for their stops?
Yeah, they've got a lot of freedom with that extra gap. I mean, in Bodhod's position in particular, you could easily let Wiz make that undercut. Even if he's going to a softer compound, Bodhod can afford just to stay out that extra lap, maybe 2 laps, just to make sure he's making the right call for his second stint.
Absolutely, and he can make that call on strategy, and he can almost go long, can't he, and just sort of stay out there and see the pace potentially of a softer compound for this man Wiz. But Feckles, who is very, very close indeed to Wiz, he's less than a second further back. Some of these liveries are just amazing as well. Liam, did you have anything to do with these? I reckon you might have some of them, but let's have a look here at T. Feckles. And T. Feckles there. Colin, he is a Ruse GT Sport Season 7 champion as well, isn't he? And this is his last race before he departs to Europe on holiday for a few weeks, bringing in the summer over there in Europe.
You know what, it's a hard gig going over to Europe and putting up with all those Europeans, so somebody has to do it, and I'm glad that Feckles has put his hand up for it. But no, I think he's very chuffed to be going away shortly, and a much needed break for the man who does a lot for Ruse behind the scenes. He puts together a lot of our division chats and is always willing to offer a helping hand, whether it be even room hosting tonight for us as a backup plan. So a massive thank you to Cole. He's been in Ruse for a bloody long time now. I'm not sure I could even remember when he joined. I I didn't personally have anything to do with the putting together of this particular livery. I'm not sure whether he made this one himself, whether it had some inspiration done, but it is mighty good looking on that Aston GT4.
And it certainly is. Look at those lap times too. Consistency as well from T. Feckles as he is getting closer to Wiz 94, but 131s from lap 4 to lap 8. He is super consistent here tonight as he keeps chasing down Wiz 94. As you can see, Wiz putting that car in most of the right places there, as you can see, coming through to complete another lap. 10 out of 31. Oh, could T. Feckles potentially, if he can't get the move done, Liam, he could come in, maybe try for an undercut. What is it, back to 7.6 seconds back to extended warranty. And he hasn't got much to worry about from behind, but Dash Vanguard does, because he's got Tolly right behind him in that classic retro Golf livery. Beautiful looking livery, that one. And you can see, there he goes, right up behind Dash Vanguard. Is he going to make a move? It is not the easiest track for passing though. And as I say that, is he making a liar out of me, Liam, as he has a crack down the inside?
Well, it didn't quite have the overlap in that Golf livery Porsche. Number 28, not quite making it by the 383. He's deep in the slipstream here though. Just not sure it's quite got the legs on that Super. He's going to have a sniff to the inside. I think Dash has just got enough down that straight to hold station for now.
Let's have a look. He's safe for now, is Dash Vanguard. And looking at Tolly here, he's still very close. Season 10 Race of Champions champion. And he is looking very racy indeed. Ruse GT7. Season 9 Division 3 champion, Liam. He knows how to get this car around a track, doesn't he?
I think there's a fair few guys in this field, actually, who have all got championships. Of course, Tolly's got his own championship, as we just mentioned. Dash in front of him is the current Race of Champions champion, so best of all, arguably. It was actually a very, very solid drive in the AMG GT3 that Snorksel was currently piloting. So Dash can be very proud of that. Many season champions through here, and I'm not sure there's many guys you could poke a stick at that don't know how to steer a virtual race car.
No, it's I tell you, that's why I'm a commentator, because I'm not a champion, Liam. As Fernando Alonso reminded Johnny Herbert in the Bahrain pit paddock there a few years ago, you're not the world champion, mate. You're a commentator. And I hear that one a lot. But Bluey, extended warranty. Bluey! And boy, have I had to watch many seasons, many times over and over that show, let me tell you, with young kids. But he, extended warranty now, is he's in front currently of Dash Vanguard and Tolly, but that is closing up. We'll keep going through the order. There is Selrath, who's well down the field, and he's coming up to, he's going to have some attention here. What's this? Go! As Rain of Fire has just subscribed at a Tier 1, been subscribed for 23 months, almost at the 2-year mark, my friend, and I've been loving every second of it. Fantastic stuff. Thank you, Rain of Fire. Hope you're doing well, wherever you're watching, of course, from, and in Australia. But Selrath now, blue flags are out, Liam. He's got to jump out of the way. Oh, no. And he just gets BCP through there.
Yeah, this is where the really interesting stanza of the race comes through. Of course, GT4 cars not obliged to jump out of the way for the GT3 cars. Given the pace deficit, these GT3 cars should be more than capable of picking their own gaps and squeezing by these guys on their own. Of course, Brands Hatch, traditionally a very, very difficult circuit to pass on, but the caliber of driver we've got in GT3 this event should be able to see clean passing through the field.
Absolutely, we were discussing that coming in, how they would handle the traffic. Distinct Geesh here. We talked about Distinct Geesh, who took pole position by, what was it, 1.2 or 1.1, I think, in the end, wasn't it? Almost 1.2 seconds there. But, ooh, a little bit of a moment. Even the great people have issues there, but the Milky Way kid is doing exceptionally well here, 12.1 seconds. I'd love to know, what is a pit stop around here in terms of time? It's a shorter circuit, isn't it, Liam? I'm just trying to find some information on that. But how much time can the drivers expect to lose here coming in and making their stop?
Yeah, great question. It's quite a short pit lane here, so I actually think, or actually short pit lane, it's not too far to follow. probably somewhere in the region of about 15 to 20 seconds I expect these guys to lose. Not quite sure how fuel is for this round either. We're going to have a little bit of a watch of how these guys go when they come in for their first pit stops, and we're definitely going to keep a bit of a keen eye on how this battle for P2 is. Diswood has climbed right up to the back of Stingray, and two controller users here battling in two pretty defunct cars, and there's Stingray diving into pit lane, so Stingray's the first one to blink.
He certainly does. Let's have a look at this. Here comes his pit crew. I tell you what, oh, here we go, into the pits. Into the pits we go. What compound? The mediums are on, or were on. And prying Stingray onto the softs. And RB into the pits as well. And approaching half race distance here, Liam. We're seeing the action in the pit lane.
I'll tell you what, I am almost thinking these guys are targeting a two-stop. Stingray pitting less than halfway in the race, going from mediums to softs. I really do think these guys might have a two-stop on their mind.
Yeah, there's no way there's no way, is there, Liam? Those softs are going to get to the end. I don't think, no, there's no way that they are going to get to the end of this race. I tell you what we can do, we can get that off the screen, quick smart, but soft tyres. Two-stop strategy, Liam. Were you thinking that coming into this evening?
Wasn't quite sure, to be honest with you. I think that's a really, really short pit delta. Those guys were in and out in a jiffy. Just got to remind everybody as well that we can't actually see the full details of what tyres these guys are on the stream, of course, supporting our sponsors down the bottom. But yeah, Jelly has gone to a second set of soft tyres, so committing their race leader for GT4 now in the pits as well, Trev.
Absolutely, race leader for GT4 into the pit lane in Bodhod. Where is he going to come out? Let's have a look where he feeds out. And we talked about him having... Just looking at those lap times, look at that. You can see the tyres, though, starting to go off there. 31.9 on lap 12 of this race, but he has slotted back in nicely, Liam, in this race, hasn't he? He's got T. Feckles ahead of him. He's got Wiz in front of him as well. If he can just mind his own business back there, I'm sure the two ahead of him will be coming in, and next minute he'll be back in his rightful position here. He's done very nicely on that first pit stop.
You've got to be careful not to be done by the strategy game here. Wiz and Feckles could have something up their sleeve. Of course, the one stop, I think, is possible. Fuel doesn't look like it's much of a contributing factor. I think all of these cars can probably go the entire race on one tank of fuel. But if these two cars ahead can possibly do this race on a one stop, then yeah, I tend to think that Bodhod could have actually played himself into a bit of trouble, especially going to the soft tyre right now. Last thing he needs is to be held up.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. He's got to, especially as you mentioned, going onto that tyre, the soft, was it the soft tyre? As we see him here, right behind T. Feckles. He's going to have some company very, very shortly here, is Bodhod. As we see Diswood, I believe it is, isn't it, in P2 for the GT3s, as Bodhod going through there. He's not going to lose too much time. Passing T. Feckles, he's still got to deal with the Wiz in the BMW. We'll keep moving on. There is Wiz. Here comes Porsche, who's very much still out of position. Some interesting liveries there, says Rain of Fire. Absolutely. Some retro liveries as well, Rain of Fire. Looking good. Thank you, my friend. I know you're looking good. As RB there, P7. And Fletch, we've got some action here, but I believe that looks like Fletch carving through a GT4 there of Tolly and Snorkel. So these two very close, 5th and 6th here. Have they come in and made their stops? No, they have not come in at this point in time. So who is going to blink first here, Liam, when it comes to pit stop strategy?
Well, that's the big question, but the other thing I'm looking at too, Trev, is the fact that Snorkel has not yet pit, and he is 5 seconds behind Stingray, who has. I think that Stingray and Jelly Mechanic, who is RB on our screens, I think they may have pulled a bit of a MasterCard with this two-stop, because those guys are going to have such a strong pace advantage on the rest of the field.
They are, as we see. Hello, pit stop action for the Milky Way man as he comes into the pits now. God, I just love those camera angles, as I keep saying all the time. Soft tyres for our race leader, but you know what, Liam? He's Distinct Geesh, and he can do whatever he wants. He's calling the shots here.
He absolutely is. BCP as well, following him into the pit lane. Medium tyres for him as well. I think everybody's starting to cotton on. Everybody's starting to cotton on to the fact that the two-stop may be the way to go tonight.
Yep, you can see 2 stops is looking like the preferred strategy. My 2-year-old shared her honours with me, and the wife and I feel like death warmed up. Oh boy, yeah, absolutely. Those kids will, you can just see the germs off them, Liam. Those young ones, I tell you, it's not great at all. There is our race leader for the GT3s, as Jason Wilkinson, there's a familiar name, has subscribed to Tier 1. He's currently on a 29-month streak. That is fantastic. 3 years and 2 months old now. Good to see Kid Buyers streaming again. Just the wrong game. He wants to see AFL 26, wink wink. And Liam, being from New South Wales, that is a game we play down here in Victoria.
Sorry, you're going to have to explain a little bit more than that. I've never even heard of the concept of an AFL. Sorry.
Well, it's all Parramatta Sea Eagles and all of that sort of thing. As Parramatta is I'm gonna. You know what? We're not going to go down the NRL path because Liam, I don't know a lot about that. You're gonna have to explain that to me as well. As Ross the boss, just the wrong Ross. Thank you, Jason, for watching this, and it is great. Let's not get into the AFL NRL discussion because I love both codes. And Diswood now 2.2 ahead of Stingray, so there's a bit of a gap there. Fletch, oh, Snorky and Fletch, Snorkel I mean, and Fletch, 4th and 5th. Look at this, Liam. This is interesting with Wiz just ahead of them in the GT4, of course, but not giving much room to Wiz on that occasion. They are doing their own thing, aren't they, 4th and 5th?
Definitely getting very close between these two. I think there was contact there in the braking zone between Fletch and Snorksel, so luckily it seems like they've both gotten onto it just okay. Banana Cake Pie there goes around the outside of Wiz, so Wiz now clear of that battle for 4th position. Big one I'm watching, and you did allude to it just before, is the gap between Stingray and Woody is massively shrinking. Woody, I think, committing to that one-stop. Stingray, I beg your pardon, going absolutely full beans. And look at that gap shrink. He's within a second now, Trev. There's going to be a pass here very soon if he can find a gap.
Absolutely. Through the final corner we go. Thank you, Jason. Get some in the scrums there. Just some... Not sure whether we can go with those comments about NRL because we have Liam alongside us, of course. And we are not going to argue with the New South Welshman, our northern neighbour there. But, boy, I knew this gap was closing up, Liam, but I didn't think it had happened this quickly as Diswood, what is he going to do here? As personal best there through that sector. And, he's run wide, but so is Stingray. Where is this going to happen, please, Mr. Liam?
I'll let you in on a secret here before I commentate on the battle there, Trevor. I am an A-League fan, not an NRL or an AFL fan, so I will twist this conversation all sorts of ways. Stingray, though, looking to twist his way into second place. Has he got a nose here? I think Woody's just got the pace to keep ahead for now, but look at the pace Stingray's carrying, setting PBs constantly. I think it's a matter of when and not where.
Let's have a look. Close there. I forget what that corner's called there. It might be the Graham Hill corner, the Dingle Dell, and he is through. Wow, unbelievable. He has got that move done. And like you said, Liam, we cannot see the tyre information, can we? Which usually pops up at the bottom of the screen. But that move is done and dusted. Or is it? Diswood! My goodness me, what? Wow, that was coming into the pit lane, Liam. I thought he was going to absolutely collect the pit lane wall there as coming into the pits. Boy, that is a very fast stop for him, but boy, he just was holding his breath there coming into the pit lane.
That was potentially one of the craziest pit entries I have ever witnessed. That was ridiculous, Trev. Oh my gosh.
We'll have to go back and have a look at that. I thought he was going to bottle that one completely. 3rd, 4th and 5th, and you could throw an A-League soccer ball over the three of them. Oh, look at this, Liam, for action.
I do not want to take my eyes away. Trev Diswood trying to go for P3 straight away out of the pits. He's got a lot of life in those soft tyres, and he is showing it straight back up into P3 goes Diswood. He is making his intentions clear. He is coming back for Stingray.
Absolutely. Diswood getting through there. Then it's Fletcher and Banana Cake Pie. Does two go into one? On this occasion it does. And they're still side by side. Look at them. Oh my goodness, there's not a lot of them. It's not a really wide, super wide track, this one. But they are having an incredible battle here. Porsche GT 13 seconds further down the road. And you can see them squabbling here. And it's not going to do their race much good, of course. But to their racers, aren't they, BCP? And S. Fletcher, 971. Only one of a couple of Kiwis in the field tonight. And it gets a little bit personal with the Kiwis. They do not want to give an inch, do they, Liam, out on the track?
They really don't, but wow, what an awesome exchange there between Fletch and BCP. That was exactly what we want to see. I could watch a replay of that over and over again, side by side for probably the best part of 30 seconds. Those guys were banging doors. That was simply awesome. And
to keep it clean too, and just have that respect with their fellow drivers out on the circuit. Nice and clean, very respectful. Porsche will keep moving through. Lap 21 out of 31. This first race is flying, and we're getting right through it at the moment. A couple of ring-ins, of course, here this evening. Some late inclusions as Snorkel. There he is, P7 for him, RB. And what's happening in the GT4s? We've got Bodhod. Are we thinking that Bodhod might be a sure thing here with 11 laps to go?
You know, he should have the gap that he needs to hold on to this. Of course, Wiz and Feckles, no strangers to coming through for a late win. Tolly behind those guys, I'm pretty sure as well. He should be a chance all the way to the end as well. Again, in theory, if Bodhod doesn't put any of his tyres out of whack here, he should have this, but, I mean, never count your chickens.
No, you certainly don't want to let the chickens come home to roost. As you can see there, 1.1 down on that sector, but the gap is 10 seconds. Porsche getting a little bit jumpy there going through. He's got a huge pace advantage, as you can see there, GT3s and GT4s. What is it, how many seconds? 5 or 6 seconds, Liam, per lap? 4 to 5, is it, or?
Roughly, I think it's about 6 or 7 seconds is the difference between these guys.
Yep, 25s, 26s to 31s, 32s potentially, as we've got some more pit stop action here. Wiz 94. Is that a giant Kit Buyers logo there on the side of that car? That is magnificent. He comes out of the pits and onto the softs, and that will well and truly see him through to the end, Liam.
Yeah, obviously a lot less tyre wear on the GT4s, so I think we're seeing a lot more of these guys go long, knowing they can just push the soft tyre to within an inch of its life for the final stint. Gonna go on an assumption that the rest of the guys who haven't pitted yet for GT4 are all going for that medium to soft route.
Absolutely, medium to soft. Tyre degradation, it's ×1, is it? Is that correct, Liam, for this one? It's not, or is it ×3? Am I thinking of fuel, or?
I think we are ×3 tonight.
Yep, absolutely, yep. ×3 for tyre wear, of course. Yep, absolutely.
Stingray in the pits too, Trev.
Stingray, what on earth is he doing there? Have those soft tyres, and Diswood has appeared. Look at the marbles, look at the tyre degradation happening around this branch hat circuit. I can't even get the words out because Diswood all over his business, look.
Yeah, and this pit stop's worked well for Woody. He's got the tyres already up to temperature and he's all over Stingray. He really needs to get him now in the next couple of corners. He's going to be stuck looking at that Pertac Mustang. Here he goes down the inside, decides to back out of that one, and that's a big win for Stingray. He's got to maximise this exit now, see if he can keep track position. That Aston, of course, quite quick in a straight line. Woody's trying to poke the nose, see if he can get anything done around the outside. They're bumping now, Trev, down the straight. No gap between them at all.
Nothing between them. You could not fit a Christmas card between those two. Might not be too many Christmas cards getting exchanged. Crying Stingray's got the fresh tyres, but are they up to temperature, Liam? And they've got traffic as well. Selraf in front of them.
Yeah, massive move there from Stingray. Had to throw it down the inside. He's still squirreling all over the place. Selraf just in the right place at the wrong time as he's got a mountain full of GT3s flying through. Look at BCP as well. Where has he come from? And he's got Fletch for company. This is going to be an all-in battle for second very quickly.
Absolutely. Big hello to everyone out there. Thank you, Beaky. Hope you and the family are well, going well. Thank you, Rain of Fire, as well. How good is OPS3? And he is 3 in a row for Oscar now, as that is fantastic. Championship in waiting, champion in waiting. 24 out of 31 laps here completed. Oh, I can't take my eyes off this one, Liam, because I think it's going to get serious again. BCP running wide. I think he wants to join the party as well, but is he getting too antsy here at the moment? Watching these two ahead of him, he's got a 1.6 second gap now after that mistake, Liam, but he wants to get involved here as well.
Certainly lost a little bit with that mistake. I think he'll be ruining that mistake because he can watch these guys disappear off into the distance, and they've both got very fresh tyres underneath them. Mistakes like that will be punished, and I think he might find it hard now just to bridge that gap between himself and third place.
See banana cake pie there. There is Fletcher. How have you seen his race, Liam? He was he was dealing right at the business end, wasn't he? But down in P5 now. Are you happy with what you're seeing from him?
I think Fletcher's still learning with the RaceOnOz crew. Of course, he comes from wheel-to-wheel racing, another one of the Australian leagues, quite reputable around, and you can talk to a couple of people in the community who know a lot about wheel-to-wheel. I believe he also runs Suck It Up Racing, which is quite a good name if you ask me. So Fletch definitely just getting used to how Ruse runs and the really capable names that we've got here. I think P5 is a pretty respectable effort so far. It's not over for him. He could definitely still move up. I think all the way up to second is probably still within reach. These guys definitely aren't done fighting. 6 laps to go, and I think anything could still happen.
Yep, anything can happen, and it usually does. A great commentator once said, Porsche. What? Liam, what are we witnessing here? Was that a little bit of argy-bargy there, door-to-door stuff between Snorkel and Porsche? Porsche has looked very, very angry since that opening lap incident, hasn't he?
Yeah, he drives very aggressive, does Porsche, or is he going to throw that? Oh, that's a very late lunge there from Porsche.
Oh, no! You can't be doing that, Liam. Please tell us, if you're in the steward's room, what would you be saying after seeing that one? I know I don't mean to put you on the spot, but, well, I don't know about that one. Oh, you're the man in charge, Liam. What do you think about that one, please?
I think while ignoring the fact that I'm the steward, we're going to have a pretty close look at Porsche's POV from that one, because that looked pretty damning from the commentator's view. Of course, the POV can look different. He has decided to pull over on that one anyway. So good on him there. I think he may have realised he probably overstepped the mark a little bit. Let Snorksel back through. Never good to end a race like that. So battle resumed, and hopefully everybody can keep their head and let racing be the winner here.
Fair game, absolutely. Sorry, I shouldn't put you on the spot there, Liam, given you are working in that department. I just got a little bit excited there, but he certainly has a B in his bonnet, does that man. RB in P8 there. He's just, he's 2.8 seconds off of P7 in the GT3 class, as we see the livery there. Very black looking livery, sort of a matte black with that GT logo. It looks mirrored on my screen anyway, but that is still looking fantastic. And Bodhod, special mention for him. Thank you, Beaky. Says ran him wide, not good, but he did readdress, didn't he? So play on, says the umpire. Bodhod 11.5 seconds in the lead, and this man with a few drivers here, there and everywhere, and not racing tonight. This is a perfect result coming up for him with 6 laps to go, Liam, in GT4.
Yeah, it's just all looked so good for him so far. Of course, it's easy to forget that we do have one more race after this, so we do go again in the afternoon at Brands Hatch. We'll have a short break between races. So Bodhod can't let this get to his head too much. He has run a very, very solid race so far, but there's still another 31 laps to go after this. And I think everyone's going to remember that once the checkered flag flies and kind of groan a little bit.
Absolutely, another 45 minutes of action as we tick over to 8:10 p.m. Eastern time here on the eastern states, in the eastern seaboard. That is where Liam and I are anyway. You can see there Bod Hod getting a little bit out of shape, but no issues there. There is Wiz in P2, 5 ahead of Mr. T. Feckles, who's heading off to Europe after this round. So looking forward. Hopefully you can send us some pictures back there. Extended warranty, 4 behind Feckles, and 3.9 seconds ahead of this man, Dash Vanguard. As you can see, Bod Hod, current points leader of course tonight. His nearest rival unavailable tonight too, but we'll keep going through. Dash Vanguard is the man alongside me, Liam said, filling in for the one and only Bailey Kennedy. He is the team's championship leader with Geesh, and guess what, Liam? Another champion as well, season 11 Division 4 champion on GT7.
Yeah, very solid championship that Dash ran to lock that one up. I believe it was in the 2014 Junior, may have even been the SLS. I lose track of all these championships. There's so much going on here at RaceOnOz. Of course, the one that I always quote for Dash is he is currently the reigning Bruce Hale Memorial Race of Champions champion, which is obviously a huge achievement. I'm gonna lose edge a little bit when I say it that much, but it really isn't anything to scoff at. Dash, of course, was absolutely over the moon when we interviewed him with that one. He's got Diswood for company at the moment, the rearview mirror full of Aston Martin. I'm sure that'll be gone by him shortly. I think everything's just starting to settle down a little bit. I think we predicted a few battles late on, but everyone's kind of settled down a bit.
Let's have a look. They've settled down for the time being. We'll continue on and see what they're doing right throughout the field. Let's have a look and see what's happening here. Further down, Distinct Geesh, 18.6 in front. He's almost a pit stop in front, isn't he? Here, maybe not quite a pit stop, but he's getting there the way he's going. Prying Stingray, getting through T. Feckles there, and Diswood. So things are settling down. Are there any close-ish battles there? Fletcher in P5, Snorkel. We saw Snorkel and Porsche, and since readdressing in that battle, Liam, it looks like that one's done and dusted there, so Porsche might be looking at P7, still ahead of Arby as well, who's well down the field. I'm not sure what happened with him, Liam. Did we see what happened for Arby? Did he get involved in some mischief throughout the course of this race?
Yeah, not quite sure. I'm not sure I do have much data. He did 2-stop as well. He went from soft to softs, and I would assume he's probably now on the medium tyre. So going for the slower option last. I think, yeah, Arby's just trying to figure out what works around Brands Hatch in this car. He did say he doesn't have a whole lot of time in the Mustang, probably not that much time around Brands Hatch either, come to think of it. So I think second race is going to be a lot stronger for him now that he understands what's underneath him and what he's got to do strategy-wise.
Absolutely, giving everything he can as we go down to Bod Hod. That gap under 10 seconds now in the Coles entry. Wiz, T. Feckles, and we've been through these guys, haven't we? So we'll keep flicking through. There's some action there, but that is Fletcher, of course, passing the dash. And here comes Tolly. What do we know about this man, Tolly? Well, I can tell you that he is, first of all, he's a great bloke. And he is a two-time champion as well. Ruse GT Sport champion. No, he's not. Ruse GT7 Season 9 Division 3 champ. So many championships, Liam. Race of Champions champion as well. Champion, that's going to be our buzzword for the rest of this evening. And then it's Salraf further down the field. There he is. But it is really all about this man. He is getting almost close to a pit stop in front now, Liam. Domination. There we go. It has been destroyingization, as I've just created a word for it, because he has absolutely put on a clinic here in race 1.
Absolutely sending as well. Let me take this time to blow a little bit of smoke up this man's backside. Joshua Struick, as he's known internationally. Yes, you heard that, internationally. This man was last year's GT7 Toyota GR Cup Amsterdam finalist, so he got to travel all the way over to the Netherlands, not the red light region, but in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam, just to play Gran Turismo. And how cool is that, Trev? I think that would be a pretty good gig, if you ask me, to get flown around just to play a video game.
Well, it's much more than a video game, Liam, because he is on his final lap, and he is known, as you said, internationally or universally. It's a pretty big universe, Liam, but you know what I'm trying to say. He has done a terrific job over there in Amsterdam as well, and he is just there. There's a few big names out tonight, as we know, Liam, but you've still got to get the job done, don't you? You've still got to put it on pole position. You've still got to get away cleanly, get out into clear air, and you've still got to get the race done. And he's done that tonight as he rounds up Selraf there for one final time. And, well, the question is, Liam, as we're on the final lap for the GT3s, can you see anybody getting close to the Milky Way kid?
I think it's highly unlikely. They'd have to absolutely nail the strategy, and you saw even late, now that Stingray has a little bit more of an idea on how to get the best out of that Mustang that he's in, don't think he really made many inroads on the man that's also currently the championship leader for Sector 1 Sunday nights.
Here we go, put the plug there for that. Here he comes, Distinct Geesh. 2 races here this evening, but he's taken the first one of them comfortably in the end. Easy as you like, it's never easy, but he's got the job done, and almost half a lap. Stingray, he is all out of shape there, but he's still pretty comfortable, isn't he, Liam? Back to Diswood, he'll take P2 on our podium here this evening for the GT3s. There he is, across the line he goes to finish in P2. Here comes Diswood across the line for Aston Martin. Great work. Checkered flag waving. Banana Cake Pie, P4, BCP, and Fletch. That's very close. In the end, Liam, half a second. That's interesting, but let's have a look at Snorkel coming around now. What a great race we've seen. Probably not a huge, not one you'd sort of write home about every day of the week, Liam, but still we saw some plenty of close racing, as I'm struggling to talk. Porsche there in 7th, RB in 8th, but Bodhod winning in the GT4s. Wiz in 2nd as well. Extended warranty in 3rd. So some surprising results, Liam, but some not so surprising results here. But overall, we've seen a good race here for race 1.
Massive props to extended warranty coming through for P3 at the end there. We must have missed that coming through the GT4 field. Of course, it all does kind of meld into one eventually. Yeah, podium for extended warranty. That's an awesome result for him. Of course, Geesh taking the spoils with pretty much a bang-on 45-minute race. So that's pretty well spot on. Of course, we are going to have a short break between races so these guys can cool off for a little bit and enjoy themselves. But yeah, that was enjoyable, to be honest with you, Trev.
Absolutely. Let's have a look. We've got one to go, of course. Don't go anywhere. We'll have a short break, I reckon, Liam, to let the drivers cool their heels a bit and fill up our water glasses. Distinct Geesh there, P1, prying Stingray. Steve, 73 Goof, first-time chatter. Consider following Steve. In fact, do more than that. Don't consider. Actually follow, and then we will like you even more. Prying Stingray in P2. As Diswood in P3 there. Banana Cake Pie. It's close in the end between BCP and Fletch. They're my new best friend. STTS2T Snorkel. Yeah, I got that out eventually. Porsche there in 7th after his issues at the start of that race. He was facing the wrong way, wasn't he? And then RB even further back there, a minute or so further back. But then it was Bodhod winning that one over Wiz pretty comfortably in the end. I think it was around 10 seconds over the Wiz. Extended warranty in 3rd. Great effort to get that Bluey Mustang up into 3rd. T. Feckles, 4th. Dash Vanguard in 5th. 6th, 14th overall, of course, for Tolly. Selraf bringing up the rear. Good to see him continuing on. And you can see there what a fantastic opening race there. Really was dominated in the GT3s by Distinct Geesh and in the GT4s by Bodhod. We might take a short break, Liam, because we've got a few minutes break before we get underway for race 2.
I think that's a grand idea, Trevor. If everyone just wants to go and have a refuel, have a bit of a sit down and stretch your legs before we go racing again, I think that's a good idea for everyone.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with this round 2 imitation games for 2025, the GT World Challenge for Race on Oz. If you want to get involved in this as well, Liam, at RaceOnOz on X, formerly Twitter, at Discord, Race on Oz Gran Turismo, Facebook, Race on Oz, and then RaceOnOz.com as well. All the W's in front of that. We're going for a break. See you back here very, very shortly. Don't go away. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Almost ready to go for race 2. Let's get this one underway. Straight back into the action. We saw plenty of it in race 1. Now it's time for race 2, Liam. Just like that, back into another 45-minute race. And a big shout out to Steve73. God, I love that sound, Liam. Those starting sounds as we get away from the grid. Thank you, Steve73 Goof. He's a well-known ruser, we believe, Liam, and he's joined the family on my channel, so that is great to have him on board.
Yes, welcome to the Kid Buyers channel, Steve. Awesome to have you watching tonight. Steve, of course, another well-known member of the Ruse community. And we're going to use that phrase again, another Race of Champions champion, Trevor. It really is starting to lose its edge a little bit, but I've got to shout him out whenever they come through.
How dare you, Liam? We'll pretend you didn't say that. Put your manners back in, because nothing wrong with being a Race of Champions champion. And there's a few of them out there tonight as Distinct Geesh. Well, we can't promote gambling, of course, on this channel, nor would we do so, Liam, but you would be a very brave man to bet against this man in that Milky Way Lexus here for race 2 and the GT3s at least.
Oh, 100%. And the race he just drove in race 1 was fantastic. Obviously, a little bit different this event. Still got the 31 laps for the second time around. A little bit gloomy outside, so these guys are just going to have to put up with what looks like maybe a little bit colder track conditions. Might have a bit of a benefit tyre wear wise, if anything. But honestly, most of the same for these guys. They've got a little bit more of an idea strategy wise now. We did see more stops as probably the go. The soft tyre doesn't last all that well, but the pit stop is criminally short.
Absolutely. It was almost sub 20 seconds, wasn't it? It was very quick indeed. Thank you, Stevie. Don't forget to follow if you haven't already. That's the GT3s, but Liam, we've got GT4s in this as well, and there is Bodhod leading the way. I think a few of the boys probably missed that message about the start procedure, but Bodhod, can he go 2 from 2 in the GT4s for round 2 here this evening?
He'd certainly like to, and even though they are double file a little bit earlier than I probably like, it is an awesome sight, isn't it? And I think GT3 very close to starting off now.
GT3, we'll get GT3 going, and then we'll get GT4 going as well. Prying, Stingray, Diswood, all the big names, BCP, Fletch, Porsche as well. Let's hope our man Porsche can get away much better than what he did in race 1. We are away in race 2 for the GT3s. Distinct Geesh there, Diswood, Prying, Stingray in behind him. Somebody looked like they were about to go off, but Bodhod is underway as well. He leads the way in the GT4 class. Everyone getting away, it appears on our track maps, like they got away cleanly, Liam, for the GT3s and the GT4s here off the start.
Oh, I hate to say it, Trev, but I think it was Porsche with a huge moment into turn 1. He was nearly backwards by the time we got through turn 1. I think he just gathered it up, still in 8th, not behind the GT4s, so anything is better than what happened last race for him.
Absolutely, and that'll save him a lot of time, not having to pick his way through the GT4s. Bodhod leading, Wiz. It's a bit of an action replay, isn't it, of the results from race 1. There is Bluey. There in the Bluey car, T. Feckles, Dash Vanguard, Selraf. So there is Selraf, I beg your pardon. Down in P15, Distinct Geesh there. Dominating already. Tolly making moves on Dash Vanguard. These two just picking up from where they left off in race 1. And Dash Vanguard sent very wide. If that was Lando Norris, he'd be all over the radio, wouldn't he, Liam? Saying he pushed me wide, he pushed me wide. I want a 5-second penalty for that, man.
Fantastic impression. Really, really good, Trev. You could make some money out of doing that if commentary doesn't work out for you. Not that it isn't, because this has been very, very good so far tonight. So Selraf ahead of somebody for the first time in a while. I'm sure he'd be happy to see somebody in his rearview mirrors. And it's just nice to see everybody nice and close. GT4 field spread looking good after 1 lap. GT3 nice and close. Look at the gap already on the map that Geesh has opened up. 1.6 seconds back to Wood.
Absolutely, 1.6 is the gap. We're only on lap 3 of 31 in race 2 tonight. Round 2 of this GT World Challenge. Love a bit of GT World Challenge for RaceOnOz. And Liam, the Imitation Games, of course, an attempt really to mirror some of the real-life racing action around the world here in these particular championships. Super Formula, GT World Challenge and the WEC here for Race on Oz this year.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff going on. We did have a quick flick at the calendar before. Many good events going on. We're currently the start of a triple header. So this is the first round for GT World Challenge. Next round is WEC at Laguna Seca next Monday night. Of course, Group 1 cars and Group 3 cars around there. What could go wrong, Trev? And then the third leg of the trio Autopolis for the Super Formula cars. And I'm not sure which one I'm most excited for, to be honest.
Super Formula's in Japan. That'll be fantastic. Deep breath, dash, head down. Head down. Thank you, Liam, for the compliments about the team radio impression there. Just almost went into Lewis Hamilton territory. What about Lewis on the radio? Have a cup of tea, guys. Have a cup of tea and some pasta. Pasta, isn't it? It's not pasta, it's pasta there. But yeah, he wasn't happy, was he? Settling in to life being a Ferrari driver and finishing in P9. Liam, it's not good, but I'm sure his £50 million each year will help get him to sleep at night. But Distinct G, no, just kidding, we love Lewis, don't we? One of the greats of all time. The gap is 3 seconds already. He's pulling some big margins out here. As quicker through that second sector. Hello, Stevie. Loving that little K logo there. Now you've subscribed. Great to have you with us. We are targeting those subs very quickly. BCP, P4, P5 for Snorkel, and Fletch there in P6 here at the moment. Like you said, Liam, finding his way a little bit in this championship is our man Fletch. And Steve Fletcher, of course, let me rewind and start again, Liam. He is replacing Matt McCallum for this round here tonight on his GT WC debut.
Yeah, Fletch will be chuffed to be amongst this field, having a ball tonight, I am sure, in that Bottle-O liveried M6. What a great looking livery that is. Chasing down Snorkel at the moment and starting to find his rhythm a little bit more in that German machine. I do have a quick update on the points tally. I've just been doing a little bit of work behind the scenes, and Geesh has now officially taken the lead in the Drivers' Championship for GT3 over Andrew Lee, while Bodhod maintains the GT4 Championship. So all of this is hogwash now. It's all been moved on, and Geesh is the new man on the block.
There you go, the new man. You can see the GT3, GT4 standings there on your screen, albeit briefly. Fletch a little bit twitchy there, but he's looking good in his GTWC debut here tonight. He's got Porsche right behind him, and we were expecting that these two might be close out on the circuit, of course. Porsche, Snorkel and Fletch, 5, 6 and 7 on your screen, but Porsche got into some trouble, didn't he? He almost got into some even bigger trouble at the start of this race 2, but he's managed to live to fight another day, as Martin Brundle always loves to talk about. That's if anybody will talk to him on the grid. But RB in the GT3s, they're minding his own business once again. Bodhog 2 seconds. Is that gap back to Wiz? Then we've got Feckles and Warranty very close here. Warranty looking racy around the Ding Dong Dingle Bell corner at this Branch Hatch circuit here. You can see Feckles getting a bit tongue-tied. It's been a long weekend, let me tell you. Day 4 in a row, Liam, talking, and boy, don't we love it, though. It's fantastic stuff. Extended warranty. I don't know about you, Liam, but the visuals on this game are absolutely terrific. Extended warranty now dropping back a little bit. It's almost a second to T. Feckles, and he's got Tolly. Did we have a yellow flag there, Liam? Has somebody had an incident? No, Dash Vanguard still running strongly, so is Selraf. There is that man on your screen who is absolutely dominating. 6 laps, Liam. 6.2 seconds is the gap.
Just an absurd pace that Geesh has been able to find immediately out of the box in this Lexus. Of course, one of the oldest. Oh God, as he gets sideways out of there, that was pushing the limits. Of course, this car is still in modern rotation. It's used in the World Endurance Championship, but we're using it here in the GTWC. Don't let that fool you. One of the oldest modern, quote-unquote, GT3 cars still in rotation and doing the business here tonight.
Absolutely distinct, Geesh. Nothing wrong with being old, that's for sure, Liam. And let me tell you, I'm so old, Liam, that F1 used to be on free-to-air TV. I can remember those days. That's how, just showing my age a little bit there. And yes, back on Channel 9. Boy, that is really showing my age. I'm going to shut up, Liam, and let's have a look at Diswood as he's in P2 there. P3 for Prying Stingray. Now, what is going to jump out at you here, Liam, in race 2? The driver's having a little bit of a break. Banana Cake, BCP, and Fletch getting busy here on Snorkel. These two, well, Fletch has got Snorkel in front of him, but he's got to be more worried about Porsche, surely behind him in P7.
Yeah, hitting pretty close between these guys. A bit of a three-way battle pack, I'm thinking. BCP's been able to skip off into P4. Snorks are watching him disappear a little bit. Porsche with a face full of Germany at the moment. He's got Steve Fletcher, in 6th, and he's got Snorksel in 5th, both in the AMG and the BMW,
Oh, he has ways of making him talk, and that is fantastic stuff. But I've got to say, he's not going to be saying Guten Tag to him anytime soon, because he's just going to sit back, does Porsche there. Doesn't want to do anything silly, especially through this middle part, coming up to the final corner and the final part of this circuit now. Just keeping it nice and steady there, very nicely done indeed. As let's get a bird's eye view from the front of Porsche's Porsche. Through turn 1 they go. They're just holding station here at the moment. Are they waiting for each other to make a mistake, or just waiting for a slight error for one of them, Liam? And they're going to pounce right across that, aren't they?
I think they're far too close for anything else to happen, to be honest. Every little mistake here is going to be jumped on. They can basically smell what each other had for breakfast, and that was a while ago as well. Porsche getting a big sniff on Fletch at the moment. It's just about kind of timing your moves here, though. It's so difficult, especially this early in the race, to figure out when you got to make a move. Porsche's got a great chance here on Fletch, but whether he takes it or not, we'll see.
Let's wait and see. Is he going to go right? He's going to go right. Here we go. This is a tight corner. This one, oh, Liam, that looked like it was going to end in tears, but he just managed to get out of it there at the final moment. And what would he be saying on his team radio at the moment? Did Fletch go ahead of him there, or was that all fair? Are we thinking on the team radio, do you think?
Thinking that was a pretty smart move from Porsche, to be honest. And what's interesting is we've got Jeesh in pit lane already, Trev, taking the soft tyres off.
That has surely, and Diswood as well. We'll keep an eye on this battle. You know how much I love a good pit stop animation, Liam, on this game. There we go, Diswood in, now out of the pits, and I think we might have missed, we have. That's all right. Gee, these pit stops, Liam. That's incredible, we've missed it. But anyway, he's into the pits and then out of it again. That is fantastic stuff. Prying Stingray, did he go, I didn't catch, did he go soft medium or soft? What are we thinking he's gone with in terms of tyres there?
Missed it myself as well, unfortunately. You might be able to check by flicking down the bottom to check those settings. I'm not sure if you can see it, but we definitely can't. What I'm looking at, though, is the fact that Jeesh has just been able to make a pit stop, come out clear of second place already. We're not even a third of the way into the race, Trev, and Jeesh has already got that much of a stranglehold on it.
Really taking the mickey a little bit, isn't he, I suppose? But you never know. We're approaching 1/3 race distance there. That Pertec Ford livery, very nicely done there. BCP, P3 for him. Then it's Snorky, and then Porsche, who's a much better racer. Oh, Diswood, very quick indeed. Of course, we saw him come in. He's got the pace advantage, but he's got to get this done quickly, Liam.
Yeah, he definitely does. He's going to be losing time to all of these guys. Look at the gap open up between him and Jeesh. That was not what that was before the pit stops. I'm sure he doesn't want to be looking at the back of Porsche right now. Snorksel, BCP. I think that's Snorksel actually diving into the pit lane now in that AMG, and he takes off the medium, so not going aggressive from the get-go.
And Diswood, very close in. Oh, he's got, I tell you what, he's just decided to take the inside line, if you don't mind. And Porsche, what's he got to gain? He's just elected to go long, has he, Liam? He's losing out big time here, isn't he?
Yeah, it's aggressive pit stops. Definitely the flavour of the night for GT3. I honestly think the quickest way to do this might genuinely be a 3-stop with how quick we've seen as Porsche goes diving down the inside of Fletch there. There might have been some contact there at the turn-in point. We'll have to have a look back at that later on in the steward's room if anyone wants to. But yeah, so Porsche, one move up there into P5 over Fletch. And yeah, we saw that one coming a mile away, didn't we?
Absolutely, and wouldn't be the first time. Porsche getting his elbows out there on that occasion. Fletch there further down the line in P6, and then 7 seconds further back to Snorkel, of course, who's made a stop. As you can see there, Arby, and Arby just wandering around. And what do we know about Arby? Let's have a look at this man. Is this the Jelly Stingray? Jelly Stingray. What a night, Liam. The Jelly Mechanic. This is the one I'm talking about. It is Jelly Mechanic, I believe, isn't it? Behind the wheel of that car.
It is indeed. This is the man. Got to be one of my favourite PSNs, or not PSNs, one of my favourite nicknames I think I've come across, Jelly Mechanic. This man joined us not all that long ago, so a pretty fresh face to RaceOnOz, but he's certainly making himself at home. Very, very lucky to have had him jump in tonight and fill up this GT3 grid. Replacing Byte tonight. Weren't quite lucky enough to have the presence of Byte, who was around for Bathurst with his dad Wolfie running in GT4. But Arby, of course, running that blacked out Ford GT4 inspired livery. Actually, you might remember that that awesome white GT from Gran Turismo 4. It's a blacked out version of that.
Wow, that is a fantastic memories. Core memories have been unlocked there as he takes a little bit too much curb through that corner. Some visual damage on that Ford Mustang. Gran Turismo 4. How good was that? Lost a fair chunk of 2004 with that one, Liam, as back in my year 11 days, as that is fantastic memories there. That is great for him. Was that something going on in the background there? Bodhod? What? Bodhod is less than a second. 1, 2, and 3 in the GT. Liam, where have we been all this time with this battle happening in the GT4s?
Reminiscing about Gran Turismo 4, I believe. Was there a bad lap from Bodhod in the last couple? I'm not sure if you can flick onto him and have a look at what he's been doing. But unless he stretched out the gap enough to have a pit stop. But no, it looked like there was the mistake on lap 7. So yeah, potentially had something wrong there.
And that is a big mistake there, a 39.9 on that lap. So he has made a big mistake indeed somewhere along the line. But he's got the pure race pace in that GT4 Mercedes AMG car. And if he just keeps his composure, Liam, he could still leap away, couldn't he? And still continue to just build that gap. But you know what it's like in the sim racing world. Once you make a mistake, you've got to shake yourself off pretty quickly so you don't make multiple mistakes after that. And he's run wide again.
Both the guys behind him kicking up the dirt too, so they're all still pushing. Don't think for a second these guys are in conservation mode. All three of them are pushing these cars. It's not that Tolly and Wiz are getting lazy. It's just that everybody is absolutely driving the knackers off them. One thing I'm looking at as well, that 1 minute 21 gap that Bodhod's got to Geesh. I think we're about to see some lapped cars. There it is on cue. The blue flags are out. Of course, that doesn't mean they need to move over, but it does mean GT3 cars are coming through. And there's the man Geesh, still leader outright currently on the back of this 3-car battle.
Absolutely, as Kimi Räikkönen would say.
Do I have to try to overtake him or what?
That is their blue flags. Thank you, Kimi. And there's something going on down there. Was that Wiz? No, sorry, I thought that was a move for position, but it's just Wiz getting dispensed from Distinct Geesh. I love watching this. It's there we go, Distinct Geesh making his way through there. And there he goes on his merry way. And both leaders now side by side. Not for too long though, Liam, as we see the GT3 leader going by the GT4 leader as we go back to Selraf down there. P15 on the track, as it says. But of course, he's in the GT4 scheme of things. And Feckles and Vanguard. Here's an interesting little one to keep an eye on between Feckles and Vanguard. And before he gets to the departure lounge on his way to Europe, he wants to have some wheel-to-wheel action here before he leaves.
And why wouldn't you? Very, very glad he decided to delay his trip just for us. That's not a true story, but it does help the novel. BCP and Woody here tacking onto the back of this battle and coming through. Actually, there's been a bit of a change of position there, has there? Unless BCP hasn't pitted yet, as Dash decides to peel in here, you might get this this famed pit stop animation you've been wanting here, Trev.
Oh, there we go. It's about 20 seconds. We're going to get this very quickly. Here comes Dash von Guard and into the pit lane. Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely love that. And it is a short pit lane here. Where's he going to feed out? He's going to have some company there. At least that's what I'm seeing on the track map. It's Snorkel. But he's going to round him up pretty quickly. Liam, he's got his pit stop done and dusted. Selraf is doing what he likes down there at the back. Feckles, that's the end of that one. Extended warranty in the blue E-car. So we're seeing the GT3 guys starting to round them up. Tolly all on his own. We're going from the back to the front here as we see what's going on. Bodhod is getting away now. 1.4 seconds is the gap, and then it's Arby, the jelly mechanic himself, down there in P8. Porsche and Porsche Snorkel, so not much happening. Not much happening. Forget about that, Liam, because fourth and third going at it here at the moment in the GT3s.
Yeah, absolutely on it. Banana Cake Pie not quite able to get by Tolly there when he wanted. He's going to have to pull out here on the straight. Oh. Diswood gets it done first. There's a touch there. Oh, massive touch. Wood's out on the grass. They both get by Tolly. How is everybody still pointing the straight way?
How is everybody still living after that one, especially into that part of the track? And, you know, we understand the pace differential between the cars. But, well, it's sort of, he got boxed in, didn't he? And then, really, Diswood was off the road.
Yeah, I think BCP was very lucky there not to have fenced Woody. There would have been a pretty large penalty coming his way if he did. Woody, of course, could see what was going to happen. I saw him pull out early, so Woody with some very heads-up driving, and BCP just slightly making contact there as BCP with a very firm move on Wiz. And Wood needs to get that move done as well. That was forceful, wasn't it? But here he set himself up for the straight as he got more legs than the McLaren. It's the Great British versus the Great British.
Here we go. It's a battle of Britain. That was Germany, wasn't it? But you still get the idea. I needed something in terms of wordplay. Oh, down the inside, coming up to the Dingle Bend, or whatever the hell it's called, Liam. But I reckon he's got that move done. Diswood has got the position on BCP. And Diswood, or Woody, as he's known to his friends, is up now into a podium position here.
Very aggressive move there from Woody, and there's actually been a fall off from BCP, so he's 5 seconds now behind. There might have been more contact than what we saw. Look at that gap that's been opened up.
Yep.
Not quite sure what happened in the mirror there for Woody, but we did see him go down the inside. BCP did try to cover it, but there might have been a little bit more contact on the apex that we didn't quite see. That one will be one for the stewards, I think.
Absolutely. Of course, you would know a lot about the stewards' room and everything that happens in that. We won't put that picture up, but congratulations once again. But BCP and Fletch now is not too far behind. Fletch and Snorky, they're coming up for some traffic. Do they use these? It's a terrible thing to say, but the GT4s, we were worried, weren't we, about how the GT4s and the GT3s were going to go in terms of lap traffic, Liam, as they all run very wide once again.
I think realistically it was a bit of an oversight to throw 3s and 4s, 15 of them mind you, on a track such as Brands Hatch. It's safe to say I am petrified for how we're going to go next week at Laguna Seca when we put LMP1 cars into the mix. But alas, that is sim racing, and we just go with it, don't we?
Yep, the corkscrew, what is it, the corkscrew Laguna Seca. I've never managed. Have you ever mastered that corner, Liam? I'd love to know at Laguna Seca. It's a great track. As we see, we're not going to miss this one. Our race leader for the GT3s into the pits. Here comes the Milky Way Kid.
Jish has picked it up. I'll tell you right now, he is absolutely nailing this strategy. I think that's his second stop now. We're only just past halfway. Stingray follows him in off the medium, so I think that's his medium tyre stint done. Soft tyres to the end now for Stingray. And I think these guys are honestly aiming for a 3, maybe even a 4 stop. It is just so quick to get in and out.
It's hectic, isn't it? The pace. Looks like it's... was that BC? BCP off the track! And he might have... Did he come back on? at not an ideal time there. I think that may have affected Fletch as well, Liam, because he had to go off the track as well to take avoiding action there. So guess what? Steward's room, there's another one.
Yeah, I'm actually not 100% sure that one was the rejoin from BCP. I think Fletch actually just maybe got distracted by what was going on in front of him. A bit of POV from that BMW might show us otherwise, but I was almost tempted to say there's oil on the road there, Crompto.
Yes, F1 Championship Edition. Remember the little oil flag that used to come out? For anyone who's old enough to have played that game on the PS3, and you'd be looking for the oil, Liam, and next thing you sort of, you'd never be able to see it before you started sliding off. And that was a great career mode in that game too, Liam. Used to sign with Super Aguri or Toro Rosso back in the day. But Fletch rounding up our GT4 leader. Nothing too silly there, but distinct Geesh. A 22.860. And there's some guys in the GT3s, 25s and 26s, which is absolutely incredible, as Diswood now into the pit lane.
Pretty outstanding when you watch what Geesh is capable of. Diswood putting on the new boots onto the mediums now for the slow stint now for Woody, as he's just going to drop behind Snorksel as well. So Snorksel out of nowhere suddenly running in the podium places. Where has he come from?
He has just been lurking behind the scenes, and now he's popped up, taken P3, but Diswood's going to have, he's on the mediums. Oh, gee whiz, you just take a breath, don't you, every time you see them go that wide. But we're on lap 18, Liam, out of 31 in race 2 here tonight of round 2 of this GT World Challenge for RaceOnOz. Liam, how can they get involved in this championship, please, for everybody out there watching here tonight? Please tell the viewers.
And wouldn't I love to? It's plastered all over your screen, ladies and gentlemen. RaceOnOz.com, bottom left, is our original forums, of course. We do use that now as a bit more of a segue over to our Discord channel scene. In the middle, RaceOnOz Gran Turismo is our headquarters for all things GT7. Of course, running the Imitation games on Monday night. Plenty of that going on. Plenty of seats available as well. Most times you just got to put your hand up and get involved, as these guys are doing. Sunday night is really the flavour of what we do, though, with Sunday Night League offering one-make racing for 7 rounds at a time all through the year, and that's really our bread and butter.
Great stuff. All of the broadcast partners. I've spent a couple of days on radio, not broadcast partners, but great supporters, aren't they, too? Selby Acoustics, Pagny and Advanced Simulation, Gamesmen as well, and it takes a lot of people, as we see Banana Cake Pie, I was going to say, it takes a lot of people to keep the lights on, keep those coffee cups full, and it's great to have that. But Banana Cake Pie, I was about to say, before we got distracted there, lap 19 out of 31, and we're approaching 9 p.m. Eastern time here on the Eastern Seaboard. This race is going to be done very quickly, isn't it, Liam, here tonight? We're going to be in bed very early.
It's certainly going a fair bit quicker than what I expected. While I've got this opportunity, we touched on sponsors. Do just want to give a massive shout out to Selby Acoustics. Over on the right there, you see it, selby.com.au. Don't be shy, go and check them out. Been a massive supporter of ours for upwards of 10 years now. And for this upcoming Sunday League season, 13, mind you, they are offering a $500 gift card prize draw for anyone participating in 5 or more rounds of the 7-round series. So get involved. You don't need to win. You don't even need to be halfway good to do it. If you just finish 5 races, you are in with a draw at $500. How good is that?
Absolutely. Consistency is the key. I've chucked that into the chat too, Liam. And we love supporting those people who support us in the sim racing community. And Selby, all the W's, selby.com.au. The link is above in the chat, Liam, so they can check that out. $500. I tell you, Liam, that would be fantastic right about now. Fletcher into the pits. What tyre are we thinking here for Fletch here in the pit lane?
Got to be the soft here. Got to be the soft, and he does. Comes out on the soft tyre. I think we guessed it. I think the medium for a single stint is probably what everybody's figured out is the best way to do it. Fletcher's got somebody right behind him. I think that may have been a GT4 car, because Arby, it's Wiz back there, who is, ahead of Bodhod.
Wow, so let's just have, Wiz, and let's have a look at these lap times, Liam. Let's cast our eyes across to the right-hand corner of this screen. And he's pitted on lap 16, 1:33.5. What has happened there? He's dropped 3 seconds on lap 18 of this race. We're currently on lap 19, but Wiz has got ahead of him. Let's have a look at the Wiz. The Wiz is doing consistent lap times, but nothing really to write home about, but he's got his, he's taken the place there.
Well, unless there hasn't been a pit stop for Wiz, which does of course say there has been on lap 13, but I don't really see a time drop, and that's what's interesting to me, Trev. Yellow flags ahead though. Has anything happened up here? We've got a car backwards. It's Porsche. Oh, he's in the middle of the track. Oh my God. We are so lucky.
Mary and Joseph probably can't even say that, but there's only one. Oh, well, just when I see a car sideways or facing the wrong way, Liam, I just keep thinking, how many times do we see it at Bathurst and other places where it's far too narrow? Porsche there. Well, oh, team radio. Oh, it's just Steve goofing around with us. Thank you, Steve, for the team radio beeps. And it's always a sign, isn't it, Liam, for motorsport fans? As soon as you hear that beep, you've got to go quiet and wait to see what is going on. But, well, he had a moment in race 1. This moment in race 2, Liam, coming on lap 21, a little bit later than his moment in race 1. But that is terrible news for him down there in P7.
So if my name was Bodhod, I would be counting my lucky stars that I didn't just T-bone a Porsche. That was so close. I can guarantee you Porsche went for the flick spin or tried to get himself out of that situation, looked across the road and probably swore under his helmet as he saw that SLS coming towards him. That was very bad timing for everybody involved, and I'm pretty glad that everybody got out of it unscathed.
Yes, everybody will be going home safely tonight. A T-bone stake for him. Arby in P8. He's filling in for Bide, isn't he? Half Bide, of course, running slightly wide there. Wiz is 3 seconds now. 3 seconds back to Bodhod as Porsche gets out of the way, or Bodhod gets out of the way for Porsche, I should say. And then we've got another blue flag here. It's Feckles. 3.3. there between him and Tolly. Dash Vanguard, let's go through them while we can. Extended warranty, 2.5 off Dash Vanguard. Keep an eye on that one. And Selraf down there in the final position in the GT4s. But you know what? He's finishing, and that's all he needs to do, Liam, of course, to get amongst that selby.com.au prize there of $500.
Absolutely right. You've got to remember as well that it is the Sunday League that we're counting that towards. We've been working towards hopefully getting a bit of a prize for these guys involved on Monday nights. Nothing yet, but of course our sponsors are pretty generous. It's just about figuring out exactly what we can get done for them. No promises. Maybe I shouldn't have even brought it up. But yeah, love giving a bit of love back to all the community, these guys that make it possible to go racing. Of course, the sponsors aren't alone. Wouldn't be able to go racing if there weren't people who wanted to go racing. Speaking of racing, Snorks on VCP want to show us some.
They certainly do. Don't you worry. It's live, isn't it? All this sort of stuff. That's the beauty of live sport, live sim racing action. The words go out, Liam, and we can't get them back. But boy, we love our sponsors, and we're loving this battle at the moment. P5 for BCP. Selraf, is he going to have a part to play in this battle? We'll wait and see. Snorkel down the inside. Banana Cake follows him, and that looks pretty clean. But now it's got Snorkel even closer to BCP.
Very nice of Selraf there. He didn't need to jump out the way he just did. Look at the pace from BCP. I think he's carrying a huge pace advantage here. Snorkel goes defensive. Is BCP going to send one around the outside? I think he's a bit smarter than that. Set himself up here, though, for the long run up the hill. And what do we think's got the more legs here, Trev?
Mercedes-Benz versus, what is this, a McLaren? It is a McLaren, isn't it? Oh, is that contact? Going a little bit deep there. Let's get back to the broadcasting camera. In the GT3 class here, BCP versus Snorkel. And the Mercedes-Benz trying to go defensive there on that occasion, as Prying Stingray is back in the pits there, which he'll no doubt be putting softs on. But 4th and 5th, BCP versus Snorkel. This is well and truly worth the price of admission alone here this evening in race 2. Race 1, Distinct Geesh getting it done along with Bodhod, GT3 and GT4 style. Those two leading the championship. As we heard, we've been furiously crunching numbers to get that to you. As Banana Cake and Snorkel a little bit further back now. Is he getting himself set up for another crack here, maybe in a lap or two, Liam?
You'd say so. I'm not keeping too close track of when these guys have been stopping, what tyre they're on, as BCP bowls a massive wide there. That was probably not the optimal racing line. Look at the ground he lost already. As I was saying though, I'm not quite sure of what tyres these guys are on, how fresh they are. But yeah, it just does look like, and one would assume that BCP's probably got the fresher rubber on that McLaren. You probably wouldn't have guessed it with the line he took through turn 2.
No, he's looking like a banana at the moment, that's for sure. The way he got out of shape there. As we've gone 35 minutes in this race, of course, it's roughly a 45-minute race. 2 45-minute races in this doubleheader. Pit lane action once again. And he's into the pits. What's this going to be? Off go the mediums. He's done the 2 compounds. And on to the softs. So get ready, Liam. Low fuel, brand new set of soft tyres, 6 laps to go. Are we thinking that 22.5 for the fastest lap might be well and truly in danger?
Oh, I'd say so. I think it's very tough to improve upon perfection. Geesh is somebody who's absolutely going to strive to better that though. Not quite sure what he's got in the tank, but I'm sure he'll be pushing very, very hard to get it done. He's got Dash in front of him at the moment. I'm just kind of scanning that track map, see if he's got any clear bits of road to really go for a purple lap here. And I don't really see many gaps at the moment where he's not going to find someone along the way. So he might struggle while those tyres are fresh to get the best out of them.
Yeah, wait and see. A big hello to everyone out there watching, of course. 12 people still with us on a Monday night. Not bad at all for round 2 of this GT World Challenge Championship. And we saw race 1, round 1 I should say. Race 1 was a while ago. Back in February, I believe. It was a lot warmer, that's for sure, weather-wise. And then I went off and had babies and was a little bit quiet for a while, Liam, but I'm back now, so that's fantastic. Lap 25 out of 31. Those babies, Liam, let me tell you, they don't work in with your stream schedule. Very frustrating there.
I'll have to keep that in mind because I'm not sure how they're going to work for my sim racing schedule, so I might delay that a little bit. Probably just won't tell the girlfriend about any plans, and yeah, we'll just let the sim racing do the talking for now, as Geesh there backed out of a move on Tolly, and that's probably what I'd like to see GT3 cars do. Geesh just with a lot of patience. He's got an 8-second buffer to Woody. He's been running this race from start to finish, or start to lap 26 I should say. So just watching someone show a little bit of restraint around a GT4 car, I love seeing that 10 times out of 10.
Very respectful, very clean, great respect between these 2 sim racing champions. As you can see, we've got a lot of champions out there, of course, but the Milky Way kid continues on. Diswoody's just... Hello, Liam. 4 laps to go. 5 laps to go, in fact. We've got a bit of Stingray on Diswood here, and Stingray coming into the pits not too long ago will have a pace advantage here, at least on the tyre compound side of things.
Yeah, I think these are 4-lap-old softs. I think Woodies are a little bit older than that, but track position is your friend around Brands Hatch, and surely the British bias will help him out. Woody's going to have to go defensive here because Stingray's got a bucket load of traction, and I think he's starting to lose time behind that Aston Martin. Any more time for a pit stop, Trev? Surely this is it for these guys. It'll be a battle to the check-in.
Absolutely, it's going to be right through to the end. Somebody's poisoned the water hole. Oh! What happened? What happened there, Liam? Tolly, we just got a whole lot of backside of Tolly there, and I had to look away for a minute, and it felt like an eternity, but Stingray's gone through. Thank God for ghosting Liam.
I can tell you, Trev, I physically jumped watching that. I know it's virtual, I know we're watching sim racing, but when you're watching an onboard and a car jumps out like that, you just can't help but physically jump. That was still actually frightening.
I just saw a flash of Golf livery, and then bang, we were straight through it. Thank goodness we're in the sim racing world where that sort of thing can, we don't have to worry, do we? about that would have been an absolute plane crash, wouldn't it? Going through there, a few blind corners here around this Brands Hatch circuit as well. Old school circuit, of course. And I think we're getting ready for round 2 here. Diswood on Stingray. Can he do anything about this? I think his tyres, they're on a different strategy, of course, Liam, so that could be it for that P2 and P3.
Yeah, to put it politely, I think Woody's tyres may be shagged. Might be worth a late pit stop here for him. I know there's only 4 laps remaining, but I mean, it's maybe worth a late send. See what else you can get out of the car. There is a point for a fastest lap here, so I know Geesh has probably got it lock, stop, and dropped. But yeah, I feel like a bit of a challenge for everybody else. See if you can come and get it.
Absolutely, just dangling the fastest lap point out there as Tolly moving a little bit quicker than what he was when we saw him last time on the start-finish straight. Out of the way there. Can we... oh, we can look around too. How good is that? Absolutely love Gran Turismo. And, oh, my little cursor's gone there. But there is Snorky. He's through. And let's just get back to the broadcast camera there. BCP. Then Fletch. Not a bad overall night, do we think, Liam, for this man and his debut here this evening?
Pretty solid from Fletch. He maybe hasn't brought home the results that he'd be happy with, but I think he's just about rubbed shoulders with every car on track, whether it be a GT4 or a GT3. He's given everybody a piece of him, and I think that's probably a good thing for your debut, just to show that you're not going to get roughed up by anybody, and if someone tries to shove you, you're going to shove them straight back.
Yeah, absolutely. The Kiwi getting his elbows out when he needed to. S. Fletcher, and like I said, my newest and dearest friend on the PlayStation Network, Porsche. Talk about elbows out. Here's a man who doesn't mind getting those elbows out indeed, is Porsche. And then Arby filling in for Half Bite. A little bit of cosmetic damage, visual damage on that car as he continues on his way. Then Wiz, 1.5. Let's ride on board with a bit of bod hot for your GT4 class. 4 laps, 1.6 seconds, Liam. I'm going to ask you, what can he do from here?
Oh, I think he can win it. Honestly, the pace that we've seen Bodhod have tonight, I would be surprised if he didn't mount a challenge here. He's just closed that gap in and continued to do it. The times have been pretty good. It's been a pretty gradual drop-off from Bodhod actually lately. He's gone from 29.3, 29.8, 30.4, then a 31.5. So maybe the tyres have seen better days, but I'm sure Wiz has got to be in the same boat.
Yeah, Wiz has got to be getting tired on those tyres, that's for sure. Lap 27 for the GT4s. We'll keep an eye on that one. That could be very interesting indeed. Aston Martin time for T. Feckles. He's on his own, isn't he? 13 seconds behind. 12 seconds ahead, though, of Tolly, who gave us a scare, I think it's fair to say, Liam, on the start-finish straight. He's got a blue flag there for, is that Fletch coming up in the mirrors? That's the beauty of these visuals, isn't it, Liam, on Gran Turismo 7. Huge fan, absolutely love it, because you can see what's going on. But Tolly there moving quicker on that occasion, extended warranty. Further down the field, he's doing very nicely. No close-ish battles for the rest of the field here as we get back to the front. 11.4, and that's not as big a gap as what we saw in race 1, as we're on the penultimate lap of this one. But a little bit of a moment there, and jump scare indeed, says Stevie Goof 73. But what about this man? Put on a clinic in race 1. It won't be as big of a gap in race 2, but he probably, I reckon he's even come in and made an extra stop, I reckon, Liam. That's judging by that gap, but he has not put a foot wrong here this evening.
No, he really hasn't, but I think everybody probably has cottoned on to that extra stop. I think Stingray, Woody, Snorks, or BCP, Fletch, no matter who you're looking at, they've probably all wisened up to how to run this race. Sorry, I do want to just keep track on how that GT4 battle's going. It's probably the last real door-to-door battle we've got going for the lead of GT4, of course. And you can just see there, Bodhod, I think, still within a second of Wiz. It's closed up, actually. It's really closed up. We're heading towards the final lap, and we might just have a battle for the lead here, Trev.
This might be the one to keep an eye on. I know we really need to get back to that other one, but Liam, you know what? No, we are staying with this. Liam running the show, of course, when it comes to this chat. Oh, look how many cars are there. What do we got here? Is this going to be their last lap? Or have they got one more? Final lap, here we go. It's all or nothing on this final tour as Wiz runs wide, Liam. Riz runs wide, if I can get that out, because Bodhot down the inside he goes.
There he goes through down the inside. I think Woody causing a little bit of chaos there through no fault of his own. Just the presence of a GT3 car spooked everybody. This isn't over. Wiz is going to use every bit of his prowess to try and get this back. He wants this win. All he's seen is the rear end of that AMG all season.
Let's have a look. I know Distinct Geesh fans are out there thinking, what about our man? But this really is a grandstand blockbuster Netflix finish. Are we going to see as much drama as a Netflix limited series? I don't know. This is a hell of a lot better than some of the stuff they're offering on Netflix, I'll tell a man that much. But Wiz is still close. Is he within striking distance, Liam? We're staying with this one here.
It's just falling away from him, I think. I think he's just lost a little bit out. Geesh crosses the line. Geesh is going to take the win, but this is where we're watching Bodhot v Wiz. I think Bodhot's just done enough. There's a little bit more of an air gap, and pending any mistakes now, I think Bodhot's done enough to steal his second win of the night.
He's home. Bodhot's got it, not by as much as what he did in race one. There's not going to be a twist in the tail because Bodhot comes across the line to retake victory here, or retake the lead and then take victory here this evening. What a finish. What a finish. And Liam, what a night of racing. Back-to-back 45-minute races. And the Brands Hatch, oh, Fletch and Feckles getting close there. But what a night for the GT World Challenge for RaceOnOz. Back-to-back, the doubleheader of Brands Hatch has truly delivered here in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that, and a bit of love shown to the GT4 boys as well. Of course, that is no disrespect to the job that Geesh has done tonight. He has had a flawless round, and something that I know he'll be very happy with himself for running. But yeah, props to both Wiz and Bodhot there for putting it on right till the end. And Bodhot, of course, with a pretty healthy championship lead now, heading into round 3, which is later in June.
Absolutely, later in June for the GT World Challenge. We've got it was a double header or a triple header? We'll confirm that. But there he is, GT3 man, winning this time around. Distinct Geesh, great work from him as we take a look at the results on your screen for the GT3s. At least it was Distinct Geesh. Another bang on. Was it 45.05? I think the last one, wasn't it, from memory? And now 45 minutes and 9 seconds for him. Boy, look at those fastest laps too, Liam. 22.5 there for the quickest lap. Didn't get better than that 22.5, but we thought he might do that. But anyway, he still wins nonetheless. Winning, Prying Stingray in second, Diswood in third, Snorkel in fourth, Banana Cake Pie BCP finishing in fifth, Fletch on his debut in this championship finishing sixth, Portia in seventh, and he got up to some mischief in both race 1 and race 2. Going across, Bodhot. Wow, he lost his lead. It was a little bit mysterious, wasn't he? He lost 9 seconds, Liam, on one of the laps there at the midway stage of that race. He wins just ahead of Wiz, who pushed him right to the end. Feckles, Tolly, who gave us a heart attack there on the main straight. Extended Warranty, Dashguard and Cell Raff finishing, which is more than half the battle. First, you need to finish, Liam. To finish first, you need to finish. And please, if you know what I'm trying to say, help a brother out.
Absolutely right, and I think there may have been some GT3 interjection actually in the GT4 mistakes. So Bodhot just telling me kind of under the counter, if you will, there was definitely some outside assistance when he lost the lead to Wiz. So might be something to look at a little bit later. I don't want to use the name again, but the stewards could be involved once again. But all in all, just want to say that was a pretty nice night of racing. Maybe not our most memorable, but certainly exciting right to the finish, especially with that GT4 finish.
Absolutely. Let's look at the calendar for the GT World Challenge, that is. So we've done round 1 and round 2. We've been to Bathurst, and then we've crossed to Brands Hatch. Thank you, Bodhod1. Is he following the channel? Don't make me say it again. Thank God I don't have to touch the Mustangs ever again, says Prying Stingray. That's quite funny, actually. But thank you, Prying Stingray. And Monza, the Autodromo di Monza there. The Temple of Speed, we go ahead for round 3 coming up in June. About a month away, Liam, or even less for that one. That's going to be terrific, isn't it, Monza, seeing these GT cars around there?
Yeah, definitely just under a month away, and I believe it's going to be a double header around Monza as well, so a couple chances to get it right. Of course, double file rolling starts into turn 1 at Monza. What can go wrong, Trev?
Yes, what can go wrong indeed. There are the results for the GT3s on your screen. As we move along, there's the GT4 results. Bodhod and Geesh, if you're just joining us, it's been a Bodhod and Geesh night, and I've been told to head home. Ooft, Monza is not a great track for me, but okie dokie. Is that Selraf there, or no, Salazar O2NZ? Hope you're enjoying the coverage. Thank you, Liam, for joining us as well. We know we had some issues there, but it wouldn't be a sim race without some connection issues. But we got up and running in the end, mate, and we had a pretty good night, didn't we? We're over the 2 races.
Oh, I think I would say the same thing. I'm pretty chuffed with how that went. I always enjoy your company up in the boxes. I hope you enjoy mine. And just as a reminder to everybody else, of course, I've told you how you can find our racing. When are we live next, Trev? I hope you're available for us next Monday for another round of the Imitation Games at WEC at Laguna Seca next Monday night. I hope I can have your company.
Yes, absolutely. Lock it away. Signed, sealed, and delivered. You heard it here first, Liam. What do we got, please? WEC. We did the Daytona, didn't we? Race earlier in the year. So, yes, absolutely. These Imitation Games are working around my schedule very nicely. Of course, we did round 1 at Daytona. So, Laguna Seca next Monday. What date is that? I think it must be the 12th. Monday the 12th. What time are we kicking off? Similar time. Liam, Eastern time, about 7 p.m. Eastern time for our stream on that one.
Yeah, I believe it's the exact same time, actually. So, yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern time for the stream kickoff. We did unfortunately miss round 2 being streamed. There was just a handful of things happen around the time that we wanted to get going. So, yeah, missed that one. It was actually our man Steve Fletch who took the win in his first ever Race on Oz race. So he took the outright win, and he's taken it straight to Rid 1. Pretty sure he is signed up to enter next Monday night at Laguna Seca. So keep your eyes on that one, and I really hope to have everybody's company next week.
Absolutely. We'll get some of the big guns back as well, no doubt about that, for the WEC round. Thank you, Race on Oz #1, for your sim racing needs. Come join. We're nice. If you're out there and you haven't hit that follow button, please, consider doing that. Big shout out to everyone. RaceOnOz.com, on X at RaceOnOz. Discord, we heard, Liam, that there's a bit of a transfer across with some traffic there to Discord, Race on Oz Gran Turismo. Facebook on Race on Oz. Type that in. Go to your little Facebook app or whatever you have it on, your web browser, and type Race on Oz. Selby Acoustics, the Gamesmen, and Pagnian Advanced Simulation there. Some great partners as well. We'll see you next Monday. Thank you, Liam. We know you're a busy man. Can't wait for that one.
I'm pretty keen. I'm sorry, I was a little bit spaced out there, just doing admin and whatnot. Was this keen for next Monday, am I? Was that the question, Trev?
Absolutely. I've forgotten what that question was, Liam, but I can tell you it's going to be Monday night at Laguna Seca, kicking off from roughly 7 p.m. Eastern time. So set your dial for that one. 7 p.m. on the Eastern Seaboard, of course. And I think we're heading to Japan for some Super Formula action. Potentially, Liam, the following week after next week.
That'd be right. That's the one I do remember, Trev. We are over to Autopolis for the Super Formulas. We did have a round at Suzuka happen already in the background as well. I think you were off baby making, to put it nicely, while that was all happening.
I think the baby might have been made, but he's just starting to bake in there. Should be fun indeed. Thank you, Salazar. As we can see there, we're going to finish it there. Thank you, Liam. Thank you to everyone for watching. Love these Race on Oz evenings. There's also the Sunday League as well, so keep an eye out for that. But we are out of time. With thanks to Liam Tame and myself, it's been an absolute pleasure. Remember to be kind to one another, and we'll see you next time around, next Monday night for the WEC at Laguna Seca. But for now, it's goodbye. See you next time.